Right now at 5, the Wyandotte School District is asking voters to approve a $2 million grant.
And we are looking at another above average day today, but rain chances increasing. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, an escaped inmate in Missouri has been captured after he crashes his vehicle.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So we got another warm day across the area. However, we're looking at some shower chances as we go through today, and we're looking at those thunderstorm chances for our Wednesday. Kids getting on the bus this morning. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies, low 60s, south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And when that bus brings them home, we're looking at some isolated to widely scattered showers this afternoon. So not everybody getting rain, but some out there. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, low 80s and breezy. That south wind picking up 5 to 15, gusting to 25. As we get our morning started, again, it's going to start to get breezy as we head through the day. We've got temperatures climbing into the mid 70s, and around 11 o'clock or so, that's when we should start to see a few isolated to widely scattered showers across the region. And those will hang out with us through the day, but again, they're going to be isolated to widely scattered, so we're not talking rain everywhere all at once this afternoon. But we look down the road, here we are about noon, and you can see they move through rather quickly. We go into the evening, and we'll get a pause in activity, and then as we head overnight, after about midnight, that's when we're going to see the next round of showers and thunderstorms come in. These will be scattered, and the great news here is we need the rain, which we're getting, and we're getting it without the threat of severe weather. We're not looking at a severe risk with any of this activity at this point. It'll kind of pause again Wednesday afternoon, then we'll just have a few different rounds of showers and thunderstorms as we go through Wednesday evening into the overnight hours into our Thursday morning as well, ahead of some big changes in our temperatures. So through our Wednesday, you can see where we get that little lull in activity. Chances drop just a little bit, and they'll pick back up again as we head into the evening Wednesday as well. We'll take a look at that full forecast, including those fall-like temperatures that are just over the horizon here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. A collision with a deer is fatal for a woman from South Coffeyville, Oklahoma. The crash occurred Sunday night about 5 miles north of Lenape, Oklahoma in Nowata County. Troopers say a Jeep was traveling south on US 169 when it struck a deer in the roadway and deflected it into the windshield of a Chevy Blazer. The deer went through the vehicle, exiting through the rear window. The driver of the Blazer, Caroline Howard, died at the scene. 2 people are injured from a motorcycle crash Sunday night in Bourbon County. The Kansas Highway Patrol say the crash happened 5 miles southeast of Mapleton. Troopers say 2 motorcycles were heading south on K7 at a high rate of speed and failed to negotiate a curve. One of the motorcyclists left the road and hit a guardrail. The second motorcycle then hit the first. Donovan Zorns and Richard Springston, both of Fort Scott, were taken to hospitals with serious injuries. And 2 people are injured in a motorcycle crash Sunday night in Bourbon County. The Kansas Highway Patrol say the crash happened 5 miles southeast of Mapleton. Troopers say 2 motorcycles were heading south on K7 at a high rate of speed and failed to negotiate a curve. One of the motorcycles left the road and hit a guardrail. The second motorcycle then hit the first. Both men were from Fort Scott and were taken to the hospital. An escaped inmate in Missouri has been captured. Jonathan Odell was spotted in Ray County Sunday afternoon in a stolen truck. Authorities caught him after he crashed the vehicle. Odell escaped from the Phelps County Jail with another inmate Friday night. The other person already surrendered. Odell is facing federal charges for planning to shoot illegal immigrants. He also allegedly threatened to kill any Border Patrol agents who tried to stop him. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Wyandotte, Oklahoma schools are seeking taxpayers' approval for a new $2 million building to connect the kindergarten and first grade building. Students, mostly the younger ones, walk through the open area to go to the office, clinic, or the gym. School officials say this poses a security and safety risk. The new building will not only provide shelter to students moving from building to building, but also add 4 classrooms and a set of bathrooms for the growing student body.
That bond is paid off And so this bond will be just following. It won't cause any increase for the taxpayers. We're paying off a bond, and the bond that's coming in would be would be a little bit less if it passes than what it started with the last bond.
The election is scheduled for next Tuesday, October 10th. A dozen Southwest Missouri schools or school districts will get grants for safety improvements under a $50 million state bill just signed by the governor. Joplin will get the maximum allowed, $300,000. Neosho and McDonald County schools each get $250,000. Carl Junction and Nevada get $200,000 each, and Diamond gets $100,000. 6 other schools or districts in our area will receive smaller grants. You can find the complete list at KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, we'll take a look at which high school junior gets the opportunity to play at the next level. Plus, why some retailers in the UK are giving their employees body cameras. And we will see when the fall temperatures return. We'll have what to expect from today with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, the Missouri Southern Lions are 3-2 to begin the season. The Lions are coming off a really tough loss to Central Oklahoma, where they lost on the last play of the game. But Southern looks to bounce back this week for homecoming when they host Fort Hays State.
But no, we played a hard-fought game. You know, we went down there, and my hat goes off to Coach Durrell and his crew. They were definitely greased up and presented some issues for us. Just like a win, there was a ton of stuff to look at and learn from. You know, we definitely will be a better team after this game.
Just got to continue doing what we're doing. You know, I think we're playing pretty well, so just got to go out there and keep doing what we're doing.
The Miami War Dogs softball team has advanced to Super Regionals. The big week continued for the War Dogs as one of their players announced their commitment to the University of Missouri. Sydney Forrester of Miami announced that she plans to continue her academic and softball career at the University of Missouri after she graduates high school. Forrester is only a junior, but she was a key piece for the War Dogs winning their regional championship last week. Forrester is excited for the opportunity to play at the next level.
It was just amazing. Like, I loved all the girls there. Like, everyone introduced me. Like, it was so loving and welcoming. The field is great. The culture there is amazing too after I had gone to the football game, but everything about it was amazing, as well as the coaching staff, like I said. I can't even explain the love that I've gotten from so many people here, and I'm not trying to say this, but it doesn't, you don't see it a lot coming from Miami. So I take a lot of pride in coming from Miami and, trying to build a foundation, maybe set other girls and other guys, just to maybe come to Miami.
The high school volleyball season rolls on for a few more weeks, and last night we had one of the top matchups in Missouri Class 1. Unfortunately, we were unable to get highlights from this match due to a scheduling conflict. However, we do have a final score in this one. It's the Jasper Eagles, and they win once again 3-1, and they improve to a perfect 22-0 on the season. The votes are in from everyone who voted this weekend from our poll, and our performance of the week goes to the Parsons Vikings after their dominating 27-0 victory. Parsons is now a perfect 5-0 on the season for the second straight year. Vikings will look to make it 6-0 when they host the Galena Bulldogs this Friday. Well, still to come, a study finds a big disparity between what women and men pay for out-of-pocket health care. We'll have what you need to know. Plus, talking cooler temperatures and rain chances in that forecast. Take a look at that when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:14 on this Tuesday morning. Taking a live look outside at the MoDOT camera from 32nd and Range Line. We are looking good so far there. And down in Neosho from the MoDOT camera at US 60 Missouri 59. KDOT camera at 69 East 520th Avenue just south of Pittsburgh. Also looking pretty darn good this morning. And so is our camera at 7th and Range Line here in Joplin. We do have some clouds out there. Otherwise, not too bad. 67. So again, well above where we should be. I mean, shoot, we're close to 70, and that's not far off off of what our average high should be for this time of year, if that gives you any clues to how warm it's been compared to where we should be. 64 Chanute, Pittsburgh, 67 in Parsons, Fort Scott, Lamar, and Neodesha, 63 Miami, and 65 down in Neosho. As we get our morning started, we're looking at these mostly cloudy skies. Clouds will continue to build in out there, and we're also going to be a little bit breezy. We're talking a southerly breeze gusting upwards of 25 as we go through the day, and then by late morning we're mid-70s, and then we're going to start to see the chance for some isolated to widely scattered showers. And this chance for isolated to widely scattered showers will persist with us through the day, so it's not rain everywhere all at once. Most of us, believe it or not, will just be mostly cloudy and dry, but again, a few stray showers out there will be possible through the afternoon. We're looking at highs right around the low to mid 80s, so just a wee bit cooler than where we were yesterday, but still well above where we should be for this time of year. Our rain chances will increase overnight, but as we head into the evening, believe it or not, we get a pause. We'll actually even maybe see a little bit more sunshine, a little bit more moon out there, a little more moonlight as we head into the evening under partly cloudy skies, mild conditions before clouds thicken back up late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and we'll start to see a few more showers, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder out there. Let's take a look down the road. So we'll have our scattered thunderstorms throughout the day on Wednesday, and again, the good news is we're getting the much needed rain without that attendant severe threat that we've had the last couple of rounds of rain we've received. A little bit cooler, a little closer to average, mid-70s. That rain, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms, will hang on with us as we head into Thursday morning across the area. We're still going to be just a pinch above normal, not by much though, as we still stay mid-upper 70s. But then after that, through the day Thursday, our temperatures will begin to fall down a little bit, and then they'll stay that way as we head into the weekend. We're talking below average. So, you know how it is. It's the 4 states. We're going to go from above average to below. We don't really hit average in this region that much. We're talking mid-60s Friday and Saturday, partly cloudy skies, a little more sunshine as we head into next week. And as such, temperatures begin to warm. Overnight lows, of course, will fall back as well. Check these out. Back down low to mid-40s as we head into the weekend. So definitely on the chilly side, but it doesn't last. Unfortunately, we start to see another warm up as we head into next week. A couple of rain chances by next Tuesday and Wednesday, but temperatures starting to get back above normal in the low to mid 80s across the area. That's a quick check of your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, it's becoming one of the greatest public health challenges of our time, mental health. It's a crisis that has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, and in May, the Surgeon General highlighted another factor. It was a warning about the harmful effects social media can have on young Americans' mental health. The current U.S. Surgeon General and 6 of his predecessors held a discussion at Dartmouth College. It was moderated by CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who reports they discussed all the challenges Americans are facing in the public health crisis.
Even as the country has spent more on healthcare than ever before, our mental health has been steadily and sadly declining for 2 decades now. When the pandemic hit, we knew its impact would extend far beyond our physical health. The virus, the isolation, the loss of loved ones. It was like throwing gas onto an already roaring flame.
I'm so concerned about our children because there is an epidemic, if you will, of mental health challenges that they've been facing.
The latest numbers, about 42% of high schoolers say they constantly feel sad or hopeless. That's up more than 50% from 1999.
We are crying, we are mourning the loss of a student, of a peer, of a best friend, of a daughter.
A recent survey found that more than 40% of undergrads have considered dropping out, largely because of mental health and emotional stress. 41% of undergrads reported overall depression, and 14% reported suicidal ideation within the past year.
When I heard about the first one, it really hit, and then another one happened, and then another one happened, and then one happened yesterday, and I just don't know what to do anymore.
While we are used to hearing from the Surgeon General about things like smoking or opioids, all the living Surgeons General have come together here at Dartmouth to take on what they say is now one of the biggest public health challenges of our time, mental health, especially among this younger generation.
And I have to look at my 3 teenagers every day and know that I'm not handing them a better world than the world that was left to me. And a lot of that is because of our failure to really focus on mental health and to do the hard things that it's going to take to actually overcome this mental health crisis that we're in.
a clarion call to hopefully protect our very future.
This was the second time all the Surgeon Generals have gotten together like this, which just underscores the importance of the topic. And a study finds a big disparity between what women and men pay for out-of-pocket health care. The financial services from Deloitte looked at more than 16 million people with employer-sponsored health insurance between 2017 and 2022. The analysis found that American women who have health insurance through their jobs pay about 18% more out of pocket than men with similar insurance. And that's with removing the cost of maternity care. Also, while women pay about the same premiums as men, the value of their coverage is less. Insurance companies seem to cover less services for women compared to men. For example, breast cancer screenings can often cost more than other types of cancer screenings. It's become known as a kind of pink tax for health care. And a new study is shining a light on how damaging it can be for a child to get yelled at. Researchers say shouting at children can be as damaging as physical or sexual abuse. It can result in depression, committing crimes, substance abuse, and poor physical health. And it doesn't matter who's doing it, parents, teachers, coaches, or anyone else. Scientists looked at 166 earlier studies to reach that conclusion. They want verbal abuse to be acknowledged as its own abuse subtype. Right now, child maltreatment is classified as either physical, sexual, emotional, and negligent. Verbal abuse falls within the emotional abuse subtype. The study was published in the Journal of Science Direct. And the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is warning hospitals about using probiotics in infants born prematurely. It comes after the death of a preterm baby who was given a probiotic in a hospital. In a warning letter, the FDA cautioned healthcare providers that bacteria and fungi found in probiotics might put preterm infants at risk of invasive, potentially fatal infections. The letter references the case of an infant who received the probiotic Evio with MCT oil. The product is manufactured by Infant Health for use in hospital settings. The letter says that the baby died after developing sepsis caused by the same species of bacteria. Infant Health says it's cooperating with the FDA's ongoing investigation, and it agreed to recall the product and notified healthcare providers and hospitals. The company noted its in vivo powder, which is available to consumers, is not subject to an investigation or recall. And a family in suburban Minneapolis is celebrating what most parents take for granted, their baby's ability to hear. It's thanks to a surgery that had only ever been tried once before on a child so young. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield has a story.
And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max.
Little Diana's reading a book about imagination.
That very night in Max's room.
And her parents couldn't have imagined how their own story would unfold.
Getting rushed to the NICU at 3 days old is terrifying and terrible.
A sharp contrast to her smooth and celebrated birth.
Totally changed my life.
But after they got home with their second daughter, their first emergency happened, a high fever.
It just felt like something was off.
Their inclination was right. Diana had bacterial meningitis, a rare condition newborns can contract. She needed a shot in her brain and intensive care. But after months in Children's Minnesota, the little girl made some big progress.
She made it through the meningitis battle, which was huge. That was very, very frightening and very close.
A shot in her brain stabilized. Then another battle. The meningitis was quickly stealing her hearing, fluid causing the cochlea to quickly close, as her doctor explains.
And that if we don't act quickly, we may never be able to give her the opportunity to hear out of that ear. And obviously that's a lot for a family to process.
We had 1 week to make the decision as to whether we were going to do a cochlear implant or not.
They had to decide if they wanted to give Diana a cochlear implant, a permanent hearing device, a fairly standard procedure on older kids. But there was only one child ever who was as young as Diana who had the surgery, because that baby had meningitis too.
And it also discloses that this is the youngest that, certainly I've ever done, that's ever been done in Minnesota. And there's only one other person that's had this procedure done successfully before Diana.
We wanted to give her the best opportunity to have hearing of some kind. ideally in both ears, and this was the only way to do that.
But they trusted the team had the tools, and after a long and tedious surgery, Diana had a cochlear implant. Because of her delicate size, they had to wait months to see if it worked.
When it turns on, Mama's gonna be the first one to talk, okay?
The whole family watched as the earpiece lit up, making it official that Diana's right ear could hear.
Can you hear?
She's looking to the other side more. Yeah, she is.
I thought it was a beautiful moment. You know, her eyes got super wide and she's just looking at me with that cute little innocence, like, I can hear something.
You know, what Diana's done and what her family has done, I think will help a lot of people in the future.
The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth.
As they now have quite the story to tell.
The end.
In Savage, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO News.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we are watching another above average day for us here in the 4 states, but rain chances begin to build starting today and cooler temperatures are on the way. We will take another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Right now at 5:30, experts in Cherokee County offer advice on how to protect yourself and your family from the dangers of tick bites.
We've got some cloudy skies out there today, or this morning rather. We've got some rain showers on the way, more rain chances beyond that. We've got that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Pitt State warms up its instruments and voices for a jazz ensemble concert.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5:31 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So we've got another warm one out there today. You know, we're talking about ticks and stuff.
Yes, is it a seasonal thing?
Usually, you know, when it's warm, but we've been staying well above average, and we will actually get a taste of fall here before too much longer, but it won't last. We'll talk all about that in your full forecast a little later, but let's get you out the door. First, with the kids getting on the bus this morning, looking at mostly cloudy skies by 7, low 60s, south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And as we head into the afternoon, some isolated to widely scattered showers are possible. Most of us will remain dry, but a few stray showers out there. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. We're talking low 80s, and it gets a little bit on the breezy side. South wind 5 to 15, gusting upwards of 25 at times. Getting our morning started. Again, mostly cloudy skies. Breeze starts to pick up, mid-70s by late morning. That's when we'll start to see a few of those isolated stray showers out there. So like I said, this is not rain for everyone, everywhere, all at once. But as we look down the road, we head into the afternoon. That's where you see we've got a few of these stray showers. As we head into the evening, though, the stray showers will clear out. And actually, we may even start to see some mostly clear to partly cloudy skies briefly in the evening before clouds pick back up overnight. And we start to see thunderstorm chances increase as we head towards sunrise tomorrow. So that morning commute going to be a little bit on the wet side out there, so we'll have to watch that for you. We'll get a little pause in the activity as we go through the late morning hours. Then we start to head in the early afternoon, and we'll get another round of some showers and thunderstorms across the area, and these will stick with us again, scattered through the evening, overnight, and into our Thursday morning. But the good news is, at this point, we are not anticipating any severe weather out of this. So looking at 7 to 7 precip tomorrow, as you can see, we start in the morning. Those chances are high. They'll again taper off a bit as we head into the afternoon, and then as the evening returns, we will see the rain chances return as well. Now, this system, though, that's bringing us these shower and thunderstorm chances is also going to bring us a little taste of fall, and we'll take a look at that in your full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. The Cherokee County Health Department is trying to raise awareness of tick-borne diseases. The department today hosted a presentation about alpha-gal syndrome. That's a tick-borne disease that causes an allergy to red meat. Officials say the ticks will stick around until we get our first hard freeze of the year.
There's a lot of people out that are enjoying the hiking and the cooler temperatures and being able to get outdoors, soccer games, various different things. This is like probably one of the most opportune times to be able to check for ticks because the ticks are still out there. There hasn't been a hard freeze or anything that kind of helps to lessen that.
When the KOAM Morning Show switches to Fox 14, we'll have more on how you can protect yourself from ticks and the impact of alpha-gal syndrome. Southeast Kansas landmark Big Brutus earned some recognition on the national stage. Kansas Congressman Jake LaTurner honored Big Brutus on the House floor. It's to celebrate the 60th birthday of the massive electric coal mining shovel. The largest of its kind, it stands at 16 stories tall and weighs 11 million pounds. It revolutionized strip mining, speeding up the process and increasing output more than any other machine at the time could match. And the Pittsburgh State University Jazz Ensemble prepares for the first concert of the season. The concert will be this evening at 7 in the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts, showcasing musicians and vocalists.
I act as their coach and another set of ears, and I try to guide them and let them, really develop their own group and learn how to communicate with each other, which is the most important thing.
It's incredible. A lot of these people I've gotten to know on a deeper level, and they're like my colleagues, my peers. We'll have jam sessions other nights, and just seeing that we can still have that energy during school, it's really fun.
The performance is free of charge and open to the public. An area attraction is turning some heads nationwide. Annabelle's Fun Farm provides a pumpkin patch, corn maze, and offers over 45 new attractions. The 13-year-old farm has been voted lucky number 13 in the country for this type of attraction. Fame is fine, but for the co-owner, the farm is really about the fun.
You can expect just to have a blast. We got lots of food, drinks, ice cream shop, games, rides. We have a carousel, train ride, slide, ball zone, jumping pillow. There's something for everybody to do out here, from if you're just 2 to 92, even miniature golf, you can come in and play.
Annabelle's is open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Many cities across the country say they're buckling under the stress of caring for thousands of migrants. Plus, why bot researchers say robots could keep your city or town trash free. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. But first, here's a live look from old Yale Farms in Frontenac, Kansas. Topping World Watch, it's not a transformer, but it sure looks like something out of a movie. Correspondent Marianne Rafferty examines the nearly 15-foot tall robot that could change the way we save lives. Plus, another bot researcher says that this could help keep your city or town trash free.
An arsenal of new robots could help ensure a cleaner and safer world, especially at a time where plastic pollution isn't slowing down, and some scientists say human-caused climate change is only making extreme weather events more intense. Standing at nearly 15 feet tall, this massive bot from a Japanese startup company might look like something out of a movie.
Hatch closed.
Called ArcAx, the robot is controlled by a person who sits inside its cockpit. Screens show the pilot what the robot is seeing, and joysticks allow them to move its arms and hands. It could be ideal for making quick work at natural disaster sites and beyond.
It could be used at disaster relief sites and eventually for work in space. Rather than for sites where multiple robots can be brought in, we would like to develop multi-purpose work equipment where a single robot can perform multiple tasks at sites where only a limited number can be used.
Meanwhile, researchers in Germany are revealing their CityBot. The small emissions-free gadget can be customized with attachments city officials may need for specific jobs.
During the day, it would transport people and goods, and in the evenings and during the night, it would take care of municipal chores such as lawn mowing, emptying trash cans, shoveling snow, cleaning streets, or watering trees.
CityBots will be tested at airports before they roll out on actual streets. Meanwhile, the Japanese robots could be yours in the near future for just under $3 million. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Some retailers have become so concerned with the recent spike in shoplifting that they are giving their employees body cameras. Major retail chains in the UK are now giving employees body cameras. Fashion chain Primark joined supermarket chains Tesco and Sainsbury's in the move. The increased measures occur as businesses like Target, Foot Locker, and Dick's Sporting Goods all warned that their profits have been under pressure from loss of inventory due to thefts. Department store chain John Lewis said earlier this month shoplifting had reached epidemic levels in Britain. And 2 scientists win the Nobel Prize for Medicine. The Nobel Committee announced Monday in Stockholm that Caitlin Carrico of Hungary and Drew Weissman from the United States were awarded the coveted prize for mRNA vaccine research, which was crucial in reducing the spread of COVID-19. The Nobel Committee says that their discoveries were a major factor in the unprecedented rate of vaccine development during the COVID-19 pandemic. Their groundbreaking research was performed at the University of Pennsylvania. President Biden conveyed that his cabinet after Congress averted a government shutdown over the weekend. The president urged the Republican-controlled House to work quickly to prevent another potential shutdown while still including funding for Ukraine in the next agreement. President Biden gathered his cabinet to update the American public on the administration's priorities, including assessing the risks and opportunities of artificial intelligence and taking action on gun violence. Many cities across the country say they're buckling under the stress of caring for thousands of migrants from the Big Apple to Chicago and from El Paso and beyond. Shelter space is running out, and some leaders say it's bringing economic trouble for residents and businesses alike. Ted Linder takes a closer look at how the situation is being handled so far and why some say it can't be a long-term solution.
As freight trains continue rolling north through Mexico towards the United States, migrants frantically climb on board, looking to secure passage closer to the border.
To have the opportunity to work, for my children to also have the opportunity to study.
The latest Customs and Border Protection data reveals agents encountered more than 2.8 million migrants so far this fiscal year. That's up from the more than 2.7 million migrant run-ins documented last year.
I hope to find at least a job, to work, follow a good path, and make a new life.
The influx in asylum seekers continues overwhelming many American cities.
There was no infrastructure nor investment for it.
In Chicago, officials struggling to find enough shelter space are now housing migrants at a bus center at O'Hare International Airport.
The black train is just, for personal security for them.
New York City officials estimate about 10,000 migrants arrive in the Big Apple every month. Homeless shelters meant for New Yorkers are filling up to make more space for migrants. The city will allow low-income residents with city housing vouchers to rent in neighboring towns outside of the 5 boroughs.
It's got you freaking out.
Meanwhile, many business owners in El Paso say large crowds of migrants gathering in downtown areas are starting to worry their customers.
I had multiple people throughout the week, tell us that, we don't really want to go out downtown at night anymore just because, you don't know if it's safe.
Many states grappling with the migrant influx say no matter what they do, it's all a short-term solution, calling for Congress to pass more concrete immigration reform. Ted Linder, Fox News.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Now 5:47 on this Tuesday morning. We've got some isolated showers possible for us through our afternoon today, but our better rain chances will pick up after midnight tonight. So let's take a look down the road on the future track. So here we are about noon. We're going to be mostly cloudy. These showers are going to be isolated to widely scattered at best. So the majority of us will remain dry, but a few showers will be possible here and there. And as we head into the evening, take a look. Clouds? No clouds. We'll actually go mostly clear to partly cloudy as we head into the evening before clouds increase by late tonight into the overnight hours, and then so do our thunderstorm chances, with them starting after midnight in our northwestern counties around, say, Yates Center and points northwest of there. These showers and thunderstorms will be scattered across the area as we head through the morning and into that morning commute, so we'll have to watch out for wet roadways. But the good news is at this point, we're not anticipating any severe weather with this activity, which is great news because the last couple of rounds of that much needed rain we've received has also come with severe weather with it, and we don't need that. We just need that rain, and that's what we're looking to get as we head into our Wednesday. And after the morning storms clear out, say by about 10, we'll have a break for about 3-4 hours, and then we should see additional development. Clouds will increase again, and we'll see more scattered showers and thunderstorms by early afternoon, and these will hang on. They'll be scattered through the evening, but we'll have shower and thunderstorm chances stick with us all the way into the overnight hours and into our Thursday morning as well before they all clear on out of here, and then they leave us with at least a taste of fall across the area. So let's take a look at our rain chances. This is from 7 to 7 tomorrow. Starting in the morning, of course, those rain chances better in the morning. Then as we head into the afternoon, late morning, they do drop off a bit, and then they'll pick back up again as we head into the evening hours on our Wednesday, and they'll again stick with us into our Thursday morning. Right now in Joplin, we've got some clouds out there, otherwise above average, of course. That's been the trend here lately. 67, south-southeast breeze at 7. The winds today later will start gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour at times, so just a heads up on that. Sitting at 67 in Nevada, Lamar, 64 Pittsburgh, Chanute, 67 is also Neodesha and Parsons, 62 Miami, and 65 in Neosho. Getting our morning started again, mostly cloudy. Winds begin to pick up. Some isolated shower chances by late morning, mid-70s. Again, hit and miss showers, otherwise mostly cloudy, still above average as we go low to mid-80s today. That pause in the shower activity into the evening, mild, 70s, upper 60s. Overnight lows, though, low to mid-60s. Clouds increase, so do the storm chances. And then we look ahead, a little bit better, right around average Wednesday and Thursday with those thunderstorm chances, mid to upper 70s. And then after that, on Thursday, our temperatures will begin to fall through the day. And then take a look at this, below normal. We go mid-upper 60s Friday and Saturday. A nice day on Sunday, lows heading into the weekend into the 40s, and then next week, unfortunately, this taste of fall kicks out of here. We go back above average, low to mid 80s with additional rain chances Tuesday and Wednesday. That's a quick check of your forecast. We'll be back with more right after this, but first, got a live look from Old Yale Farms in Frontenac.
A dog caught on camera behind the wheel and a hot tub on wheels scores in Green Bay. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
Police in Slovakia had a bone to pick with a motorist after traffic cameras captured what appeared to be the man's dog behind the wheel of a speeding car. In what's already a legendary Facebook post, police shared traffic cam images clearly showing the dog behind the wheel. According to the post, the driver, who was cited and fined, claimed the dog unexpectedly jumped into his lap, but police said there was no video evidence to support that claim. In fact, no moving video was released at all, which is a doggone shame. The pic, of course, went viral though, and social media did what it does best, offering such helpful insights as that dog likely drives better than most people. To wit, video from New Jersey shows a very human driver crashing into a police station and then immediately surrendering to officers who seemed kind of unfazed by the surreal and brash crash. The man was reportedly blaring the song Welcome to the Jungle during the crash, which police say they now believe was intentional. Keeping the car craziness a-rollin', take a look at a next-level tailgate party, courtesy of Lions fans in a strange land. Dubbed the Tub Gators, this crew of Detroit faithful made a big splash in Green Bay, partying at the Packers game in their hot tub tailgate and tavern on wheels. They were good sports, though, inviting cheeseheads into their frothy football fricassee to break bread, beers, rather. Finally, if you're behind the wheel and are in the mood for some lovely fall foliage sightseeing, then steer this away. The amazing seasonal color transformation is already taking over in places like Utah, where folks like this motorcycle rider are already falling for fall. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Who knows what we'll see next? We'll be right back with more news after this. Late night laughs are current again. Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, and Seth Meyers will return to the airwaves Monday night with new shows now that the writer's strike is over. John Oliver already had his first new show Sunday night, and Bill Maher did so Friday. Late night shows were the first ones that went dark when the Writers Guild strike began on May 2nd. That strike officially ended early Wednesday following a unanimous vote for Guild leadership. In the deal, writers got more money, better preview revenue sharing from streaming content, and protections against artificial intelligence. And if you ever have tech issues, and we all do from time to time, then Tuesday is a chance to celebrate those who help you solve those problems. That's because Tuesday is National Techies Day, observed every year on October 3rd. An important part of this particular observation is encouraging students to think about pursuing careers in technology. Opportunities abound in the tech field, and there's no end in sight to the expansion of those opportunities. It's worth noting that National Techies Day falls in National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Cybersecurity is another reason to appreciate techies and all they do to help protect our data, computers, smartphones, and software.
They certainly do go above and beyond to make sure things keep running, and that's why we're able to keep running here at KOAM because of our techies. So thank you. We have got a cloudy day, mostly cloudy skies through the morning. Going to be a bit breezy. Winds could gust 20-25 miles an hour out of the south. Some isolated showers possible as we head late morning and through the afternoon hours, mid-70s by 11. We head into the afternoon. Again, isolated to widely scattered showers, so not everybody getting rain, but a few of us could see some shower activity out there. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, still above average, low to mid 80s. Then we'll have a break. We'll actually even go mostly clear to partly cloudy through the evening, still mild, and then clouds increase overnight and shower and thunderstorm chances increase after midnight as well as we go low to mid 60s. And then we'll have those scattered shower and thunderstorm chances throughout our Wednesday. No severe weather expected at this time, which is good news. Rain continues into Thursday, cooler Friday and Saturday. And then unfortunately, this taste of fall wraps up as we head into the next work week. We warm back up. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6, Wyandotte, Oklahoma schools are seeking taxpayers' approval for a new $2 million building.
We've got another warm above average day for us out there, but rain chances are going to begin to increase. We're going to take a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a dozen Southwest Missouri schools will get grants for safety improvements.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 6 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So we've got another above average day out there. That's been the trend here lately, even though we're now in the second week of fall. But we're going to get a taste of fall a little later this week. We'll talk about that in the full forecast here a little later in this hour of the KOAM Morning News. But first, we're going to get you out the door, starting with the kids heading to the bus stop this morning about 7. We're looking mostly cloudy skies, south breeze 5 to 10, temperatures right around the low 60s. And as that bus brings them back home this afternoon, still mostly cloudy, warm, low 80s, breezy, that wind gusting 20-25 miles an hour, and a few of us could see a few isolated showers. These are going to be widely scattered out there, so not everybody's going to get rain, but some showers possible as we head into the afternoon hours. Our morning gets started with mostly cloudy skies. Breeze starts picking up later. Those isolated shower chances will pick up a little bit as well. We'll go mid-70s by late morning. Taking a look down the road, so we head into the afternoon. As you can see, cloud cover all around, and then there's some of those isolated showers, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder. Then we head into the evening. We'll start to go mostly clear to partly cloudy out there. I'll have a brief break in the precipitation, and then as we head overnight, here we are at midnight, clouds increasing, shower and thunderstorm chances increasing as we go overnight. And we'll have scattered showers and thunderstorms as we get the day started for Wednesday. Those will clear out by about 9 o'clock or so, and then a few hours later as we head into the early afternoon, clouds increase again. More showers and thunderstorms will build across the area, and they'll be scattered through the rest of the evening into the overnight hours and even into our Thursday morning as well, bringing us some much needed rainfall. And the best news is at this point, we're not anticipating any severe weather with this activity. So it's great to be able to get some much needed rain without severe weather to go along with it. So tomorrow, precipitation chances, we start high, of course, in the morning, better chances, then we drop off briefly. And then as we head later into the evening and overnight again on Wednesday, those rain chances will pick back up and stick with us into our Thursday morning. As I mentioned, we're going to get at least a taste of fall-like temperatures here in just a couple more days. We'll look at that in your full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. A collision with a deer is fatal for a woman from South Coffeyville, Oklahoma. The crash occurred Sunday night about 5 miles north of Lenape, Oklahoma in Nowata County. Troopers say a Jeep was traveling south on US 169 when it struck a deer in the roadway and deflected it into a windshield of a Chevy Blazer. The deer went through the vehicle, exiting through the rear window. The driver of the Blazer, Carolyn Howard, died at the scene. And 2 people are injured in a motorcycle crash Sunday night in Berby County. The Kansas Highway Patrol say that the crash happened 5 miles southeast of Mapleton. Troopers say 2 motorcycles were heading south on K7 at a high rate of speed and failed to negotiate a curve. One of the motorcycles left the road and hit a guardrail. The second motorcycle then hit the first. Donovan Zorns and Richard Springston, both of Fort Scott, were taken to hospitals with serious injuries. An escaped inmate in Missouri has been captured. Jonathan Odell has spotted in Ray County Sunday afternoon in a stolen truck. Authorities caught him after he crashed the vehicle. Odell escaped from the Phelps County Jail with another inmate Friday night. The other person already surrendered. Odell is facing federal charges for planning to shoot illegal immigrants. He also allegedly threatened to kill any Border Patrol agents who tried to stop him. And if you're ever on the go and want to still be able to watch our newscast live, just download the KOAM Plus app. It's available free of charge on your app store of your choice. Just search for KOAM Plus. Wyandotte, Oklahoma schools are seeking taxpayers' approval for a new $2 million building to connect the kindergarten and first grade buildings. Students, mostly the younger ones, walk through the open area to go to the office, clinic, or the gym. School officials say this poses as a security and safety risk. This new building will not only provide shelter to students moving from building to building, but also add 4 classrooms and a set of bathrooms for the growing student body.
That bond is paid off, and so this bond will be just following. It won't cause any increase for the taxpayers. We're paying off a bond, and the bond that's coming in would be, it's actually would be a little bit less if it passes than what it started with the last bond.
The election is scheduled for next Tuesday, October 10th. A dozen Southwest Missouri schools or school districts will get grants for safety improvements under a $50 million state bill just signed by the governor. Joplin will get the maximum allowed, $300,000. Neosha and McDonald County schools each get $250,000. Carl Junction and Nevada get $200,000 each, and Diamond gets $100,000. 6 other schools or districts in our area will receive smaller grants. You can find the complete list at KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, why Microsoft CEO took an apocalyptic tone in court Monday over Google AI. Plus, why prosecutors are accusing Trump of inflating the value of his net worth and assets. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Old Yale Farms in Frontenac, Kansas. Topping Nation Watch this morning, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy helped prevent a government shutdown over the weekend, in part because he worked alongside Democratic lawmakers. And now, thanks to several members of the GOP, McCarthy might need assistance from Democrats to help keep his job. John Loring reports.
Throughout his career, former President Ronald Reagan repeatedly invoked the 11th commandment, which said, "Thou shalt not speak ill of any fellow Republican." That's not what's happening now.
I knew Congress was a disaster, but it is far worse than I thought.
On Monday, Florida Representative Matt Gaetz offered a motion to vacate the chair on the House floor. In other words, kicking House Speaker Kevin McCarthy out of the job.
At this point next week, one of two things will happen. Kevin McCarthy won't be the Speaker of the House, or he'll be the Speaker of the House working at the pleasure of the Democrats.
Several sources tell CNN that McCarthy is expected to make a procedural move that would squash Gaetz's threat.
It's easy to surrender. If you want to surrender, yeah. But if you want to fight for the American public, to secure our borders and keep government open, how is that a problem?
Gaetz says he has enough Republicans to force McCarthy to vacate.
Conscience is telling me to vote him out.
If so, McCarthy will need Democratic backing to save his speakership. And right now, House Democrats say they are waiting for Democratic leadership to take a stand on the matter.
I don't think it's Matt Gaetz or Kevin, right? I think ultimately every member has to do what they think is right.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
There hasn't been a high-profile showdown like this on Capitol Hill since 2015, when then Republican Rep. Mark Meadows filed a resolution to try to oust then House Speaker John Boehner. The matter never made it to the floor for a vote. Both Boehner resigned months later. And the Powerball jackpot now stands at over $1 billion. It comes after there was no winner in last night's drawing. The winning draw ball in Monday's drawing were 12, 26, 27, 43, 47 with a Powerball of 5. The next drawing is set for Wednesday with an estimated grand prize of $1.2 billion. That's the largest Powerball jackpot this year. Microsoft CEO took an apocalyptic tone in court Monday, predicting a, quote, nightmare scenario for the internet if Google goes unchallenged. Satya Nadella testified in the federal government's antitrust trial against the search giant, which has been going on for 2 weeks. He predicted Google would become unstoppable in artificial intelligence if its online search dominance continues. Nadella took major issue with companies like Apple that use Google as the default search engine for their devices. He claimed Apple has declined offers of $15 billion per year to use Microsoft's Bing search engine instead. Nadella also accused Google of purposely blocking users from accessing competing search tools. He has plenty of skin in the game. Microsoft has invested $100 billion in Bing over the past 20 years. And a trial date has been set in the bribery case against Senator Bob Menendez. A federal judge announced Monday that Menendez and his 4 co-defendants will go to trial May 6th. During Monday's hearing, prosecutors said the investigation was ongoing and mentioned there could be a superseding indictment in the case. The judge said he was reluctant to wait to set the trial date until all discovery in the case has been handed over to the defense teams. Prosecutors noted that the process is expected to take several months. Depending on pretrial proceedings, the trial date could get moved back. Menendez faces 3 counts in connection to an alleged bribery scheme. Prosecutors accuse the New Jersey Democrat of using his political power to aid the government of Egypt and pressure state and federal prosecutors investigating New Jersey businessmen. Day 1 of a New York civil case brought against former President Trump and his namesake organization kicked off yesterday. Prosecutors are accusing him of inflating the value of his net worth and assets. CBS News correspondent Naomi Richam has more on how the first day unfolded from New York.
We did nothing wrong. Former President Donald Trump was defiant outside a New York courtroom yesterday, railing against New York Attorney General Letitia James.
The Attorney General of this state is a disgrace. Letitia James is a disgrace. She's a disgrace.
And the civil case her office brought against him, the Trump Organization, and his 2 eldest sons.
There's no case here. There's no victim.
Trump is accused of misrepresenting his net worth by over $3.5 billion, claiming his Trump Tower penthouse was nearly 3 times its size, and valuing Mar-a-Lago as high as $739 million, though it was actually assessed to be worth roughly $28 million. Prosecutors are seeking $250 million and a slew of sanctions that could make it harder for Trump to do business in New York.
No matter how powerful you are, no matter how much money you think you may have, no one is above the law.
The judge in the case ruled last week that Trump, his eldest sons, and business had committed fraud. Yesterday, Trump lashed out against him, too.
This judge should be disbarred. He shouldn't be allowed to be a judge.
Trump's legal team is arguing the numbers were estimates, not absolutes, and they say a key prosecution witness, former Trump fixer Michael Cohen, is a, quote, serial liar. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
The former president is not required to appear during the proceedings, though he told reporters yesterday that he may be back in the courtroom again today. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Now here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are continuing to watch our above average temperatures continue for us today. Mostly cloudy skies. But as we head into tomorrow, rain chances begin to increase. It'll start in the morning, and let's stick with us for a bit. Then we'll get a brief break before we see more scattered showers and thunderstorms on our Wednesday. And then a taste of fall is on the horizon. We'll have another complete look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes on the KOAM Morning News.
Taylor Swift is not the only music superstar headed to the big screen. Daniel has that and your first look at a film starring a pair of Oscar winners in today's Hollywood Minute.
Everyone! Welcome to Mother's Mind. That's what you are.
Beyoncé's Renaissance World Tour is coming to theaters. Renaissance, a film by Beyoncé, traces the arc of the superstar's show, which drew more than 2.7 million fans from its inception to its finale. Renaissance, a film by Beyoncé, opens in theaters December 1st.
We are seeing ongoing cyber attacks across the country.
The truth is much scarier.
What is the truth?
Here's your first look at Leave the World Behind from Mr. Robot and Metropolis creator Sam Ismail. Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali, Ethan Hawke, and Kevin Bacon star in the apocalyptic thriller, which opens this month's AFI Film Fest, debuts in select theaters November 22nd, and premieres on Netflix December 8th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, I can't wait to see behind the scenes of Beyoncé's tour, but we'll just have to wait until December. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're going to see a few isolated showers possible across the area today. We're also still going to be above average. However, some changes are in the forecast as well. We'll take a complete look at that when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:21 now on this Tuesday morning, and we've got a mostly cloudy, above average day across the area for us with the chances of a few isolated showers sprinkled in. So we head into the afternoon, cloud cover pretty abundant out there. Shower activity, not so much. So not everybody's going to see rain today, but just about everybody's going to see rain as we head into our Wednesday. As we head into this evening, though, once those showers clear out, we're looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies initially. And then we'll head into the overnight hours and clouds will begin to increase after midnight ahead of our next round of showers and thunderstorms. Now again, these are scattered, but as you can see, they're very widely scattered. More of us will be getting in on this shower and thunderstorm activity. This will be rolling through right as we get our Wednesday started at morning commutes, so watch out for some wet roadways. That first batch clears out. We'll get a pause of maybe about 3 or 4 hours, and we should see additional shower and thunderstorm development as we head into the early afternoon hours and through the evening. And then these showers and thunderstorms will be scattered, but they will stick with us as we head through the evening and into the overnight hours as well, even into our early Thursday morning, bringing us some much needed rain and even better, without an attendant severe threat. We're not expecting any severe weather with this activity this time. Rain chances tomorrow, best in the morning. They taper off briefly, and then again, they will pick up as we head back into the evening and overnight hours on our Wednesday. Right now in Joplin, got some clouds out there, above average, but it could be worse. 66 degrees with a calm breeze. That wind will not remain calm all day. We're looking at gusts later today and later this morning, anywhere from 20 to 25 miles an hour, so do be prepared for that out there. 64 in Pittsburgh, 66 Lamar, Carthage, and Parsons, as well as Neodesha and Fort Scott. 63 is Yates Center, Chanute, and Iola, as well as Chatopa, and 61 down in Miami. As we get our morning started, again, mostly cloudy skies. Winds will start to pick up by late morning, and then we'll also start to see the opportunity for a few isolated to widely scattered showers out there. Mid-70s. Our highs today a little cooler than yesterday, but still above where we should be, low to mid-80s under those mostly cloudy skies for most of us, but again, tagging in that possibility, at least some of us could see a stray shower or two. Again, mostly clear to partly cloudy, mild through the evening, then overnight dropping back low to mid-60s. Shower and thunderstorm chances increase, and they'll stick with us through most of our Wednesday. A little closer to average as well, mid-70s. Mid-70s Thursday, and then our temperatures begin to fall through the day slowly on Thursday. And as we head in Friday, Saturday, overnight lows 40s, highs mid-upper 60s, so below normal. And then we turn around and start to get warm again next week. So we just get a taste of fall over the next few days before we go back above normal. Temperatures back low to mid-80s with some additional storm chances next Tuesday and Wednesday. That's a quick check of your forecast. Now here's Caitlin with Health Watch.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a few dozen of military service members are back active after being discharged for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine. According to data by the military branches, only 43 sought to rejoin of the more than 8,000 discharged. It comes 8 months after the vaccine mandate was officially repealed. The military mandated the vaccine for only 15 months from August 2021 through January of this year. It was rescinded as part of the National Defense Authorization Act. Many Republicans have argued that the vaccine mandate hurt efforts to recruit and retain members. But months after the vaccine mandate was repealed, only a small number of those discharged have sought to return. Experts suggest younger troops may have left and found other careers, while older troops saw it as a reason for early retirement. And a new study finds that Paxlovid is effective in reducing hospitalization and death. After a late summer spike in COVID cases and with the holidays approaching, a new study published in JAMA found that Pavloxid antiviral treatment is effective in reducing hospitalization and death in extremely vulnerable individuals. Severely immunocompromised people saw the greatest benefit from the treatment. And there has been a significant rise in eating disorders among adolescents following the pandemic. A new analysis of data from Canada found visits to the ER for eating disorders more than doubled in the 30 months after the start of the pandemic. Hospital admissions also increased by 54%. Researchers believe factors such as isolation and increased time on social media likely contributed to the rise. And a study looking at nearly 500,000 participants found that loneliness was associated with an increased risk of developing Parkinson's disease. Researchers found that the increased risk was regardless of demographic group and independent of other factors. Researchers say the findings adds to the evidence that loneliness can impact both mental and physical health. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, officers and experts in Cherokee County offer advice on how to protect yourself and your family from dangerous tick bites.
Another day with above average temperatures but increasing rain chances. We'll talk about that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Pitt State warms up its instruments and voices for a Jaws ensemble concert.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 6:29 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So we've got another warm day across the 4 states, not where we should be, but we do also have increasing much needed rain chances as we head through the day. Let's go ahead and get you out the door, starting with the kids first, hopping on that school bus about 7 a.m. We are looking at mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures not too bad. Back into the low 60s, south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Then when that bus brings them back home, we do have at least a chance of an isolated shower or two. So not everybody's going to see rain this afternoon, but some of us might, and will otherwise be mostly cloudy. Low 80s at south breeze at 5 to 15, occasionally gusting 20 to 25. So do be aware of that today. We get our morning started, mostly cloudy skies. Winds will start picking up by late morning, and then those of us who may see a stray shower or two, those chances will start to pick up by about 11 or so. We're going to go mid 70s by late morning, and as we head through the day, we have again the isolated shower chances. So here we are at noon. There's a few of those, again, widely scattered. Not everybody's going to see rain today. And then as we head into the evening, we'll actually start to go partly cloudy to mostly clear out there. And then we go overnight. Clouds increase around midnight, and so do shower and thunderstorm chances as this activity starts to roll in towards sunrise. That morning commute, watch out for wet roadways, scattered storms. No severe weather expected at this point, which is great news, but we'll get some rain. That'll clear out by about 8, 9 o'clock. We get a little bit of a pause. Clouds will thicken back up, and then so do those rain chances. Showers and thunderstorms through the evening, into the overnight, and into our Thursday morning. They'll be scattered, but they will be there nonetheless. So some much needed rainfall across the area. And just a quick reminder, even through our Wednesday, still not anticipating any strong or severe thunderstorms. Tomorrow's forecast for rain, better chances as we head into the morning hours. And as we mentioned, we'll see a brief lull in activity for some, and then those rain chances turn around. They'll pick back up as we head toward the evening hours and overnight on Wednesday into Thursday morning. Now, following that, we're going to get a little taste of fall in terms of our temperatures. We'll talk about that in your full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. The Cherokee County Health Department is trying to raise awareness of tick-borne diseases. The department today hosted a presentation about alpha-gal syndrome. That's a tick-borne disease that causes an allergy to red meat. Officials say the ticks will stick around until we get our first hard freeze of the year.
There's a lot of people out that are enjoying the hiking and the cooler temperatures and being able to get outdoors, soccer games, various different things. This is like probably one of the most opportune times to be able to check for ticks because the ticks are still out there. There hasn't been a hard freeze or anything that kind of helps to lessen that.
When the KOAM morning show switches to Fox 14, we'll have more on how you can protect yourself from ticks and the impact of alpha-gal syndrome. Southeast Kansas landmark Big Brutus earned some recognition on the national stage. Kansas Congressman Jake LaTurner honored Big Brutus on the House floor. It's to celebrate the 60th birthday of the massive electric coal mining shovel. The largest of its kind, it stands at 16 stories tall and weighs 11 million pounds. It revolutionized strip mining, speeding up the process and increasing output more than any other machine at the time could match. The Pittsburgh State University Jazz Ensemble prepares for the first concert of the season. The concert will be this evening at 7 in the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts, showcasing musicians and vocalists.
All super excited. We got a great selection of repertoire for this concert. We also have the PSU Jazz Combo playing. So we're really trying to set an emphasis on singing, and a lot of creativity, a lot of improvising.
Definitely the singing. I mean, it's a first for me. I grew up in a very musical theater family, and so musical theater and jazz singing has always been a passion of mine, and I've never had an outlet for that until now, and so it truly is a time for me to shine.
The PSU Jazz Combo performance will be free to the public. An area attraction is turning some heads nationwide. Annabelle's Fun Farm provides a pumpkin patch, corn maze, and offers over 45 new attractions. The 13-year-old farm has been voted lucky number 13 in the country for this type of attraction. Fame is fine, but for the co-owner, the farm is really about the fun.
My children were young, and I remember going to a pumpkin patch when I was young, and there wasn't any that was lots of fun like I remembered as a kid, so I decided I would start my own.
Annabelle's is open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. How Toys R Us is getting creative as it continues to work on a comeback.
And we are looking at a comeback of at least fall temperatures and rain chances. We'll take a look at that forecast here in just a few more minutes. But first, got another live look from Old Yale Farms in Frontenac.
Topping Consumer Watch this morning. In California, a cool spring means a late harvest season for winemakers. Usually they would already be finishing up the process, but a stretch of warm weather ahead turns out to be a good thing for growers. Marisela de la Cruz went to Amador County, where the harvest started recently and is expected to end in late November.
A late season in wine country.
The longer that's on there, and you are risking other stuff happening like fires or frost, but we've been very lucky so far.
Had a few winemakers on edge this year.
Cross my fingers because we're not done with harvest. Has been the perfect harvest so far, I would say. We haven't, knock on wood, dealt with any fires in this area where the smoke has affected us.
As a wet winter and relatively cool summer delayed the ripening process.
It's been a really good harvest so far, and we're excited to see how these wines turn out. I think we're going to have some really good ones this year.
Leading to a steady and careful process this year.
This harvest has been really great because we'll get the right amount of tonnage each day. So we're working a great pace each day instead of just a ton all coming in at the same time.
And one that's promising a good batch of wine.
But right now, it's actually been kind of nice that it's coming in a little bit later. It gives us time here at this side of the house, to fully go through primary fermentation. And then we're not rushing stuff, pressing things a little earlier to make tank space.
This year's late harvest also resulted in more fruit. Andy's Wine says it's seen a 10 to 15% more grapes on the vine. And Frontier Airlines has reached a settlement after being accused of discriminating against pregnant and lactating pilots. In 2019, several female Frontier pilots filed a discrimination lawsuit against the budget airline company. They claimed Frontier discriminated against pregnant pilots as well as new moms who were trying to breastfeed. The airline denied those claims at the time. Frontier has agreed to the settlement but did not admit liability. Frontier says it will update and clarify its policies on lactating and pregnancy. Pilots will be allowed to pump breast milk during non-critical portions of flights, and it will also allow pregnant pilots to fly so long as they are medically certified. Frontier will also offer temporary ground assignments or medical leave for those who can't fly. Tesla disappointed Wall Street Monday. The automaker reported it delivered 435,000 vehicles last quarter. That's down from both the 466,000 it delivered the previous quarter and 26,000 less than analysts were expecting this time around. The company said it still expects to hit its targets of 1.8 million vehicles for the year. Doing that will require it to boost sales at 9% this quarter. Tesla also has been cutting prices on vehicles to reach aggressive growth rates. CEO Elon Musk says it's largely to battle rising interest rates, but the company is also facing increased competition from other manufacturers offering electric vehicles. And Toys R Us is getting creative as it continues to work on a comeback. The retailer's parent company says it plans to open locations at airports and on cruise ships. The first is set to open at Dallas-Fort Worth International in November. It also intends to have 24 new flagship stores operational for the 2024 holiday season. The new locations add to existing shops at Macy's stores, and that partnership is giving Toys R Us new life after it shut down all locations in 2018. Just in time for the start of engagement season, diamond prices are taking a hit as many consumers shy away from luxury goods like jewelry. But a drop in rough diamond prices doesn't mean you'll see cheaper prices at the store. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan has a closer look, plus why you can expect a marriage proposal surge.
Diamond prices are dropping, but don't expect to see cheaper prices at your local jewelry shop. According to Zeminski Global Rough Diamond Index, prices for rough diamonds, the raw, unpolished, and uncut stones, are the lowest they've been in a year. And one economist says the price drop, plus a robust U.S. labor market, could contribute to a surge in marriage proposals.
It's easy to find a job. Jobs are plentiful. And it's one of the reasons why you're seeing an increase in household formations.
So what's behind the plummeting prices? Industry analysts are linking the slump to declining sales at the jewelry counter, saying many post-pandemic consumers shy away from luxury and discretionary goods and spend on more traveling, eating out, and other experiences.
Households actually had quite a lot of savings. They could insulate themselves.
It comes as the largest jewelry company in the U.S. predicts a marriage proposal boom. According to Signet Jewelers, engagements will soar as high as 2.5 million in 2024.
I think that's a very good sign that gives you just a really strong sense of just how robust portions of the consumer market are and just how solid the U.S. economy is.
For those looking to propose this year, don't expect cheaper diamonds. Analysts say retailers don't typically adjust in-store prices based on price fluctuations to products on the short term. For example, a 1-carat round diamond at the store is on average 3% more expensive right now than it was in January of 2020. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And that'll do it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're going to take one more look at that forecast as you head out the door. So kids getting on the bus this morning, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, low 60s, south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Then this afternoon around 3, some of us could see a few isolated showers. Most of us will be dry and mostly cloudy, low 80s. And that south breeze picks up a bit, starts gusting 20 to 25 miles an hour. A mostly cloudy start for us today. Winds will start to increase. And then again for some of us, shower chances increase a bit, mid-70s by late morning. Looking down the road, cloud cover plentiful, showers and even a couple of rumbles of thunder, not so much today. And we'll start to go partly cloudy to mostly clear as we head into the evening hours, and then we head into the overnight. We start to see increasing clouds, increasing thunderstorm chances as we head into our Wednesday morning. That morning commute looking to be a little bit on the soggy side. The good news is throughout the time of our rain chances, we're not anticipating any severe weather. We'll get a little pause and then we'll see additional shower and thunderstorm thunderstorm development as we head later into the day on Wednesday across the area. There will be pauses here and there, but these showers and thunderstorms will stick with us through most of Wednesday, into the evening, overnight, and into our Thursday morning ahead of some big changes temperature-wise in our forecast. We'll have another look at that full forecast here in just a couple of minutes, and it's just about time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. Those are also coming up after the break. But first, these fine folks in New York City getting ready for CBS Mornings. Let's see what they've got for us.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Anthony Mason goes in the studio with the brothers Osborne on their new album. And Emmy Award winner Keegan-Michael Key will be here to talk about his new book on sketch comedy. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Tuesday birthdays here in the 4 states. We're going to begin in Dennis, Kansas with Evan Say celebrating the big number 1. Happy birthday, Evan.
Pretty cute. And happy 8th birthday to Anna K. Grayson. It says here, happy birthday, love Dad, Mama, Lila, and Charlotte.
And we've got Kenny Bates in Melrose, Kansas, celebrating birthday number 20. Happy birthday, Kenny.
And happy 22nd to Kinsey Schaub over in Liberal, Missouri.
And I believe, if I'm reading this right, originally from Chicago but moved to Kansas about 3 months ago, is Erica Brown celebrating birthday number 32. Happy birthday, Erica.
All right, and happy 60th to Greg Barneberg.
And Bonnie Feist in Chatopa celebrating another year wiser. Happy birthday, Bonnie.
And taking over to Altamont, Kansas, happy 85th birthday to Phyllis Costin.
And sticking in Kansas, we've got Earl Carson celebrating number 90 in Elsmore. Very happy birthday, Earl.
All right, and over in Lamar, Missouri, happy 12th anniversary to Kyle and Shandy Morey. Congrats, you two.
All right, our list does continue. We've got Jaden Ganaway celebrating birthday number 17 in Columbus. Happy birthday, Jaden.
And over in Oswego, Kansas, Mason Zwollen turns 9, and he shares the same birthday with his uncle Kenny Bates.
He does indeed. And Mason's cousin, Rikers Whalen, also celebrating birthday number 9 in Oswego. So big celebrations in Oswego today.
Yes,
happy birthday.
absolutely.
Well, of course, we love these lists. We love celebrating with you. Caitlin, how can they celebrate with us?
Well, all you have to do is submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include pictures and any other shout outs that you want us to give to your loved ones on their special day.
Make sure you do send those to us. All right, let's take a look at that forecast real quick. So right now in Joplin, if you look, we've got some clouds out there. We're a little warm, but not bad. 66, calm breeze, but that wind will not remain calm for very long as it'll start to gust at about 20 to 25 out of the south a little later this morning. Temperatures around the region, 66 Lamar and Carthage, 61 in Miami, 63 Pittsburgh, Chanute, Iola, 65 Fort Scott, Neosho. So all of us low to mid 60s for the most part out there. Got another above average day for us though. We're going to go mostly cloudy to get our day started, and we're really going to stay that way for most of the day. Winds will start to pick up later this morning, and at least for some of us, some isolated shower chances. Now most of us will remain dry as we head through the afternoon, but that chance of an isolated shower too is out there. We're mid 70s by late morning. Heading into the afternoon, again, throwing up the shower chances because at least some of us could see some rain. The rest of us otherwise mostly cloudy, a bit breezy, and still above normal. Highs low to mid 80s out there. Then we head into this evening. Believe it or not, in the evening, we're actually going to clear up a bit. We're talking mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, mild through the evening, and then later tonight, clouds begin to increase, and after midnight, our shower and thunderstorm chances begin to increase as well as we fall back into the low to mid 60s. And a very quick check of that 7-day forecast for you. We are looking at thunderstorms throughout the day, off and on our Wednesday. Great news here, no severe weather expected, just much needed rain. Highs about average Wednesday and Thursday. Showers and thunderstorms continue into early Thursday morning. They clear out and our temperatures begin to fall back a bit, and we go below average Friday and Saturday, and our lows fall back into the 40s. Sunday, a little closer to average, sunny, mid-70s. However, as we head into the next work week, this little taste of fall does not last. Temperatures back up above normal in the low to mid-80s with some additional rain chances by next Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, coming up when the KOAM Morning News switches on over to Fox 14, scary movies and Taylor Swift. Those are among the big new movie releases heading into theaters this month. We'll have all the details at 7 a.m.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A collision with a deer is fatal for a woman from South Coffeyville, Oklahoma. The crash occurred Sunday night about 5 miles north of Lenapaw, Oklahoma in Nowata County. Troopers say a Jeep was traveling south on US 169 when it struck a deer in the roadway and deflected it into the windshield of a Chevy Blazer. The deer went through the vehicle, exiting through the rear window. The driver of the Blazer, Carolyn Howard, died at the scene. And 2 people are injured in a motorcycle crash Sunday night in Bourbon County. The Kansas Highway Patrol say that the crash happened 5 miles southeast of Mapleton. Troopers say 2 motorcycles were heading south on K7 at a high rate of speed and failed to negotiate a curve. One of the motorcycles left the road and hit a guardrail. The second motorcycle then hit the first. Donovan Zorns and Richard Springston, both of Fort Scott, were taken to hospitals with serious injuries. Wyandotte, Oklahoma schools are seeking taxpayers' approval for a new $2 million building to connect the kindergarten and first grade building. Students, mostly the younger ones, walk through the open area to go to the office, clinic, or the gym. School officials say that this poses a security and safety risk. This new building will not only provide shelter to students moving from building to building, but also add 4 classrooms and a set of bathrooms for the growing student body. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And that forecast as you head out the door, we are looking at least at some isolated shower chances for some of us this afternoon. Most of us dry, mostly cloudy, above normal, low to mid 80s. Into the evening, we'll actually get a clearing for a bit, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, mild. Then after midnight, clouds increase, as do shower and thunderstorm chances, low to mid 60s. Looking down the road, scattered thunderstorms through the day on Wednesday, about average. Continuing into Thursday morning, still average. We get a taste of fall Friday and Saturday in the 60s, lows in the 40s, and then unfortunately that taste of fall goes away and our temperatures begin to climb again next week as they go back into the low to mid 80s with at least a few rain chances Tuesday and Wednesday. But at least for a couple, 3 days out there, we are looking at least the taste of fall. And boy, it's going to hit us pretty hard because we're talking going from above normal to well below normal and overnight lows back into the 40s. Some of us maybe even the upper 30s out there.
Oh my goodness. Well, it sounds like it's the perfect weekend to start hitting up those pumpkin patches, am I right?
It certainly is. The weather's going to be great for that this weekend.
Bust out those Ugg boots, get those flannels, and get ready to get those Instagram-worthy pictures at the pumpkin patches.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making German wave cake in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. The nation's largest healthcare worker strike could start in the next 24 hours. Next on CBS Mornings, a look at how a strike could impact millions seeking medical treatment.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Charlene joins us in studio to teach us how to make marble rye and Swiss cheese bombs.
Sounds pretty darn good. Plus, Jerry Neely and Tom Rutledge joining us in the studio, and they're here to talk about Bible Esta. We'll learn more about that, and that's going to wrap it up for us for right now. But we had fun. You had fun, right?
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, you're feeling better, so that's good, too.
Feeling healthy, so I've missed you all.
We missed you, too, and we had so much fun. I tell you what, why don't we do this again tomorrow, say 5 a.m.?
You know what? Sounds like a date.
All right, let's do it. And we could probably come back later today and do it, right?
I think noon sounds appropriate, huh?
All right, let's do it then.
All right.
We'll see you.